you can talk a lot about what's in your ingredients, and we do that. But I like to talk about what's not in our ingredients.
What are like the top ones that you think are the worst?
I mean, it's crazy to me that there are brands that are still releasing products with parabens. So for me, I would say parabens, sulfates, petrochemicals.
All right, Heal Squad, we are back with part 2 of our conversation with Karissa Bodnar. I'm sure if you listen to part 1 that you are as obsessed with her as I am. In this part, we are going to talk all about clean beauty, what makes it clean, what lessons she has learned along this journey, and her 7-minute makeup routine that is filled with some really great tips that we both actually shared, which was super fun. And so much more. So enjoy. You built this, I hear it's a $5 billion business.
We don't talk about our financials publicly.
Okay, it's worth a lot.
We have donated over $150 million in funds and products since I started the company. And that's really what I try to focus on is the philanthropy. And even within that, I guess I should say, the numbers really don't matter. Sales go up and down, profitability goes up and down, and it'll never be enough if that is what you're chasing. There's this concept called the hungry ghost. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, tell.
And I'll tell you why I really care about this is because I remember when I was in my apartment, I didn't have sales for the first 3 years. I worked a full-time job to fund it. And
what full-time job did you work?
I worked for Bulletproof Nutrition. So I was making the coffee and I was doing the creamers. I was making
Dave
the protein
Asprey
bars.
brand?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way back in the day.
Does he know this?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. He was an amazing boss. He was so great. There was like 10 of us. And even before the pandemic, it was a remote company. So that was when I wanted to start Thrive Causemetics, I knew I couldn't work for the world's largest beauty company and create a beauty company. And quite frankly, I didn't know if it would ever work. And so I was very transparent with Dave and I said, hey, I have this idea. It's called Thrive. Like, I don't know if it'll work. And we even had like a written agreement. And I think because I was so transparent with him that I wanted to build it, we had this camaraderie as entrepreneurs. And I always encourage people who are working or who want to start a business to work that full-time job because entrepreneurship is so lonely. And it's also so much of hurry up and wait in the sense of like, you think that something's going to come to fruition and it often doesn't. And there's a lot of rejection and I couldn't raise any money in the beginning. And so I didn't have any sales and I couldn't get a retailer to carry us. So there was a lot of challenges that by having a full-time job, I didn't have to have that same level of anxiety and fear that I think a lot of entrepreneurs have. It doesn't mean that I didn't have it. I did. But I was shipping products out of my apartment for 3 years. And that was having that job to be able to pay my rent and know that I could fund the inventory was pivotal for the success of the company. But going back to this hungry ghost concept, once the sales, I am very competitive and I am very driven. And once the sales did finally start to take off, I didn't think that I could survive anything that was anything but up. And the hungry ghost concept is this idea that you're just never, it's never enough. It's never enough. There's no revenue that's enough. There's no giving that's enough. There's no amount of awards that are enough. And none of that stuff really matters. It's one of my favorite quotes is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it's to know that one life has breathed easier because you have lived is to have succeeded. And I hand wrote that with my not so great handwriting on the wall of our office because I just think it's so important for us to remember that we can, it is incredible that we've donated over $150 million. That full stop. That's incredible. The revenue is incredible. The profitability is incredible. I'm super grateful for it. And I'm also just as grateful for those days where I had no sales because it keeps me really grounded in how fortunate I am and that I know that I'm breathing rarefied air. And I also know it could all go away tomorrow. So I don't want my self-worth like it has in the past to become about the numbers. And I don't want I don't want anybody to deem success based on what they are making, what's in their bank account or the awards that they're winning. Because it's that quick hit and then it's like, okay, yeah, back to it.
But what made you think like that?
Ooh, that is a great, that's a great question. I would say because I was so driven by the purpose and the connection of the people that I got to meet. To me, we're in a relationship business, and it's the people that always make me come alive. Whether I was a makeup artist doing someone's makeup, or I was showing up at Strength United in Van Nuys for our first ever domestic violence giving event, and it looked like a jail, and there was barbed wire. There is barbed wire literally around the fence of the perimeter of the building. And then I walked in, and it was a healing oasis for these amazing women who had experienced domestic violence. And many of the women that I was teaching how to use our Thrive Causemetics makeup at the time didn't even speak English. And they would come up and they would just hug me, and I could feel that love. And that first giving event, I had so little money, I had to pack the donations in a suitcase with me. I couldn't even ship it ahead of time. And so to me, that was me making it. That was me feeling really successful, because it was the love and that energy exchange and that relationship that we get to build through the philanthropy, through the makeup, through the skincare. I feel equally as excited about that as I do, when we won Allure Best of Beauty, or when I see one of our team members really pushing through a challenge and being able to accomplish something they didn't believe was possible, or hearing a customer loves our products. Like you saying you love our products is really special to me, because in a lot of ways, that's why I do it, is to make you feel confident, to make you feel beautiful. And so for me, that's why I don't like to focus on the big numbers, because I know what it feels like to be an entrepreneur and to hear about other people's big numbers when I was first starting out, and it made me feel like crap. And I don't want to ever make anybody feel like they're less than because they have $10,000 a month in sales, because by the way, that's amazing. And they should be really proud of that, because it took me many years to even get to that point.
I think it's because you also just love making this. Like when you do something that you love, I remember vividly, what was his name? Oh gosh, he's that really famous actor. Something with a D. Dennis, is it Dennis Hopper? Maybe it was Dennis Hopper, actually. I think we were at his house. And he said, like he loves art so much. Maybe it wasn't Dennis Hopper. It was another D. I think it was Dennis Hopper. Anyway, who cares? It was one of the Ds, guys. One of the famous Ds. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I would do this in local theater. I would act in local theater and still be happy, because I just love what I do. So when you love what you do, all the other stuff is just extra and exciting. Yeah. A lot of people will go into business because they want to make money. Yeah. And that's where I think you can get taken. Mm-hmm. And when I say taken, I mean taken by all the, the demons of success. Yeah. So I think that probably has, and your early life probably grounds you. Do you go back home a lot?
I do. Yeah. At least once a year, and not as much as I would like to, but I do. I go to my Stanwood Camino Fair every year that I can. And I think, it's really, I think also being a CEO is highly humbling, especially as somebody who starts out as a founder and then has to pivot into, I had very little management experience. So I always say I have a PhD in what not to do. So I find my job every single day to be quite humbling. I mean, I was working till 9:00 last night, and I love it. We were working through challenges. Last night it was a supply chain challenge. Tomorrow it'll be something else. And I think that that's actually what helps us build resilience in our life. But yes, I genuinely love what I do. I like when I hear a rapper say like, I'm in it for the love of the game. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm in it for the love of the game, And I do feel like I'm doing it for something so much bigger than me. And I feel like I'm supported by something so much bigger than me. I really do believe that I have this divine power and protection around me and within me from angels. Like, unfortunately, one of our namesakes, Dion, who was one of the first people we named our products after, she's a 9-time cancer survivor. Nine times. And she was thriving until her last breath. She was going to chemo and dressing up as like, a glam goddess. Like she was doing all these fun things, still really living her life through what seems so insurmountable, right? Yeah. And she became like an aunt to me. And I think, even though she's no longer on this earth, I feel her in me. Like I feel her around me, just like Christy, just like my grandma Jackie, just like Nolly, there's so many people that I've been so blessed that really help me feel like I can persevere through anything. And there's a lot of challenging things that you go through as an entrepreneur. So
yeah, well, especially if you have no foundation, like I always say it's easier when you have parents who were in business because you will learn like a sponge all the things. Like my parents were janitors. I have had to navigate these waters without that like foundation of training that some people get. So you bump your head a lot.
yeah.
But I want to ask you another business question before we move into what makes the products clean, because I'm really curious.
Yeah.
And then what to do when you only have 7 minutes and all of that good stuff. But what made you keep this business to yourself? Because I'm sure companies have tried to buy you. What made you want to keep this all independent?
For me, it is so important to, again, like I said, Thrive Causemetics is like my love letter to the world. It is my business soulmate. And so to be able to keep the integrity of the formulas, to be able to do business on our own terms, to do philanthropy on our own terms, is I value that independence and that autonomy much more than I value money. And I know I say this as somebody who grew up with very humble beginnings. I say this from a place of privilege now. Money doesn't bring me joy or happiness. It doesn't bring back lost loved ones. It doesn't undo traumas that we think it will. And
That's a really great point you just said. I really like how you worded that because I never have known how to word it. But once you have it, you know it doesn't mean what you think it means.
yeah, I thought that if I could, buy my parents a house, that everything would be okay. And my dad still got Parkinson's, my mom still got ovarian cancer. There was a point where I thought that, certain things, just kind of like we were talking about with the awards, it's like, that's a hit, Forbes 30 under 30. I thought, oh, that's so cool. And that's a hit of whatever adrenaline. I don't know what it is.
Dopamine, yeah.
Dopamine. And, just like those things that I think we create as these big milestones in our head, and they really are just moments. And it's all the building blocks and the challenges that make those moments be really special. And I'll be the first to admit, I'm not good at sitting in some of that joy sometimes. But for me, I feel to stay independent is to be able to continue to do things on our own terms and to be able to make long-term decisions. I'm looking 10 years out on the business, 20 years out on the business. I'm not looking at, of course, I care about the daily sales, the quarterly sales, all of those things. I think that's very important. But I do it because I care about the tenure. I want this business and the impact of this company to have an infinite impact that really outlives me. That's why I do it every day. And I really, really love it.
Did you lose your parents?
No, my dad is actually doing really well. It's amazing.
Wow, he's thriving.
Yeah, Parkinson's is a crappy disease that I never wish on anyone. But oh my gosh, no, my dad is like, he started taking vocal lessons, and so he's singing. And I come from a very musical family, and my parents led worship at church, and my dad and I have even like gone into the recording studios and I don't like publish it. I actually have never told anybody this publicly, but we have a producer that actually used to be the guitarist in One Direction named
Nice.
Dan Richards. And we go and we record songs here in LA, and I make music videos of him. I'm like a momager. I'm like a daughter. I don't know how to say it, but I'm like a protective daughter.
I'm dead.
Yeah. And so he is, my dad is a huge inspiration to me. He was a runner in his life. He had never really done weightlifting or anything other than running. And when he got diagnosed, he started working with his organization called the Parkinson's Fitness Project, and he's completely transformed how he lives his life. And he's on the board of a Parkinson's organization that helps people. So my dad's a huge inspiration to me. He grew up on food stamps and got his doctorate. Even though I came from humble beginnings, like the fact that my dad was raised by people who immigrated here and who had nothing. He lost his father when he was really young. And so I'm really inspired by my dad from a work ethic perspective and from that tenacity to say that, yeah, what happens to us does not define us. And I feel really lucky to have him as an example in that way.
What kind of teacher was he?
He was, so when he was, so he did special education. My dad has had pretty much every job you can have in education. Then he was an elementary school teacher. Then he was an elementary school principal, and he worked his way up to being a superintendent at the end of his career.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really amazing to witness that, and also the challenges of that. I have so much respect for teachers and anybody in the education system, and again, it was a great way to grow up. So yeah, with my parents are still alive and they're doing well. I'm really fortunate.
They must be so proud.
Oh, thank you.
Friends, St. Patrick's Day is just days away. I'm ready to celebrate. I got all my green ready to go. But being a Boston gal, you know, you really have to do it up because it is a big holiday for us. It's considered in Boston, Boston's considered one of the best cities in the country to visit for St. Patrick's Day because there are parades and the Irish pubs. There's definitely no better place to be. Unfortunately, I won't be there this St. Patty's Day, which is sad, but I'm going to make sure that we keep that Boston spirit going by throwing a little party here at our house with our friends and their kids. And yeah, we're going to go all green all the way. Luckily, Macy's, see what I did there? Well, they have everything that we need to bring the festivities to life. Green and gold accessories, clothes, costumes, home decor to make the party even better. We've got the cutest shamrock tablecloth and pillows for the couch, which is a simple way to decorate. I got Athena a super cute green and gold tutu. I can't wait to see her in it. She'll also be able to double wear that at all the Celtics games that she's going to go to because, you know, it just works. So be sure to stop by Macy's to get all your party green essentials. I always say, we need all these excuses to celebrate because, as you said, Karissa, earlier, you don't really sit in these moments. A lot of us don't really celebrate moments enough. And I feel like we can get annoyed by all the holidays or we can use them as excuses to get together with family and friends and enjoy and celebrate. So shop now in store or online at Macy's.com through March 17th. So let's transition because the Heal Squad obviously is trying to live their healthiest life, as am I. And I know that it's really hard for us to really know what is truly clean. So when you've made your products, what are your parameters that you use to make sure this is clean? And have you ever had to reformulate?
Yes. Okay. Clean is a continuum. I think that's what's really important. As we learn more, we can do better. Same thing with sustainability. So everything that we do, we are trying to be as sustainable as possible. We use PCR materials, which is post-consumer recycled materials. We have carbon neutral shipping to our customers. Every time you buy from us, it's completely carbon neutral. We're planting a tree every time you know. So there's a lot we do on that side.
So cool.
And from a clean perspective, the reason why I say it's a continuum is because as science advances, we get exposed to more knowledge. And so when we find out that a certain ingredient is no longer deemed safe, we immediately will take that out of our formulas.
Which is why you like to keep control, obviously.
Yes.
Because then you can have
I mean, I am a little bit of a control freak. Yes.
But yeah, like for me, integrity is huge.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that if you can have that power to make those changes on your own, that's huge.
Well, and people want it too. That's what's so amazing. I think, you know, I think you can talk a lot about what's in your ingredients, and we do that. But I like to talk about what's not in our ingredients. And we have thousands of ingredients that we will not use. And that list is intentionally a living document. It is a Google Doc that we continue to refresh every time we learn more. And we partner with oncologists, someone who's become a dear friend of mine, Dr. Elizabeth Coman, who she's incredible breast cancer and women's health doctor. And we work with dermatologists, we work with oncologists, like I said, oncologists and ophthalmologists to make sure that our products are safe and effective. And we have amazing chemists on our team that are always removing ingredients that are no longer safe. So
what are like the top ones that you think are the worst that we should like look at our products and say? Because here's the thing, it's overwhelming to start your clean product journey.
Yeah.
And I did it a couple of years ago, but that was when we had Kelsey here, our producer, And she had already dove into those waters. So I was able
Yeah.
to kind of hitch onto her and be like, okay, which ones work?
Yeah.
And we would go through things. And then I found you. And so I was like, okay, I got it. But for people, it's really overwhelming. And there's certain things that they won't get rid of.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to me that there are brands that are still releasing products with parabens. So for me, I would say parabens, sulfates, petrochemicals.
Does it say petrochemicals?
That is the challenge, is that people have become really creative in how they market their ingredients.
And what's a petrochemical? Like a petroleum?
Yeah, I mean,
based
it's a
product?
pretty wide spectrum. But yes, it can be petroleum based, and not all petroleum is going to be bad for us. But
Is Vaseline bad?
I mean, I never want to speak ill of another company, but I mean, it wouldn't be my choice.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I've recently been looking at it and I'm like, it says petroleum jelly. And I'm like, wait, how have we been bamboozled into thinking petroleum is okay?
Yeah, and the thing is that you can create alternatives to that. So a common ingredient that is very hydrating is a derivative of coconut oil, and it's called capric caprylic acid. It creates a really nice slip, cushiony feel to a lip gloss, and it also can be something that's super hydrating on the skin. So you'll see us use that in a lot of our products. And so there's always an alternative. And I actually like the challenge of creating clean formulas, because I wouldn't have created some of the innovative formulas and the technologies that we did if we didn't have those parameters. I think also being a vegan brand is also a really nice way to help consumers kind of guide their way to being clean, because if somebody's vegan, they likely care about animals and the earth. And so they're probably paying attention to ingredients. It's not a silver bullet, no doubt, but you can look for different different certifications like PETA certified, Leaping Bunny certified, also different eco certs. And Sephora does a great job. Ulta does a great job of having the Sephora clean, the Ulta clean, and we follow those same guidelines to make sure that our formulas are clean. That's very important to me. So I mean, for us, it's a constant, literally every day we're refreshing it and talking about it and making sure that we're as clean as possible.
Okay. Let's go to, what do you do when you have 7 minutes for glam?
Well, that is me most days. And so my go-to is never forget sunscreen. And so if you don't have time to do complexion on your skin, to put foundation on, and you want to even out your skin tone, I love using our Daily Defender sunscreen in a tinted sunscreen. So today what I have on, even though I'm a bit more fair-skinned, and a perfect match for me would be our light shade. It's the shade light of Daily Defender sunscreen. I actually use shade medium. That's one of my pro tips to get that golden glow, is actually to use a shade that's slightly darker, and then you just slather it on. You get your one-stop shop of your sun protection, as well as a little bit of pigment to even out the skin tone. So that gives you that no makeup look. And then the triple threat color stick is another quick, you just throw it on. Oh, do you have it?
Is that, hold on.
Yes.
Is that
Oh my
this
gosh, you
one?
have Kaisa. I can tell from here.
Yes, it's Kaisai.
Yes, that's what I'm wearing today.
I'm wearing it on my lips. Is that bad?
Yes. So it's a really nice cushiony matte shade. Yeah. So that's you should be leading this segment. This is you know how to do it.
I'm wearing it with my lip gloss.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. I have my MAC lip
Yes.
liner, because I'm out of, you have the best lip liner too.
Oh, lip filler, lip liner. Yes.
Yeah, but the color that I want, I'm out of. I have like some of the brighter ones, and I just wanted like a real like nude.
I think it's
So I'm using
khaki.
that. Yeah.
I think you're talking about khaki. I'll
And then
send
I
you
have
some.
my translucent powder here too.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it. I mean, that is triple threat color stick you can use on your cheeks. You can even dab a little bit on your eyes, your lips, and it gives you just a really nice monochromatic glow.
Yeah, that's
that
what I
looks
like
really
about
natural.
it. I
Yeah.
use all my stuff kind of everywhere. So whatever I'm using for a bronzer, I use on my eyes and
Yes.
stuff. But this, I didn't even know it was called that, funny enough.
Yes.
I didn't know you could do that. Because, I've done makeup for so long. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I really want to use this on my lips today.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's clean, so I don't have to feel guilty that there's something on my lips that maybe isn't technically for that.
Yeah, and it's infused with a lot of skin-loving ingredients like macadamia oil and hyaluronic acid. So there's a lot of rich butters. So it really is that nice treatment for your lips as well as your cheeks, and it's amazing that way. And so if I had 7 minutes, I would 100% use our brow laminate, our instant brow fix is incredible actually instant brow fix is amazing if you need a little bit of a tint to your brows. But the brow laminate for me and for you, we both have bold brows. If you want to lock them in, it is a absolute game changer.
Really? I haven't tried that yet.
It just launched today. It's the liquid brow lamination is a game changer.
Hilarious.
So it keeps them in place for actually 24 hours, and it has biotin and a bunch of really rich ingredients to help really build stronger brows as well.
Okay, so brow laminates. Got to try that. Okay.
Brows are a game changer for the face. And even if you don't want to tint them and you just want a really natural look, I love to brush them up. It helps to just lift the eyes.
Well, I had a makeup artist on my movie that taught me something because I do
tell me.
have a lot of like really long eyebrows.
Yeah.
And when she would do my eyebrows, they just looked so much better. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? She's not using any product, like not penciling or anything. How are you making it do that? She's like, Maria, I have to work your brows. She has to comb them the opposite way.
Yeah.
A lot to get them to then comb up into a curl that like arches.
Yes.
I had no idea. So now, of course, I do that, but
we need you to make a little tutorial because that would be I mean, it's that you're exactly right.
Yeah.
It's not actually about adding pigment always. It's really about defining. And that's what I love about the brow lamination that we make because it doesn't get goopy or flaky. It really locks them into place and gives you that nice laminated look without adding anything. So it looks super natural.
Okay. So we've got the triple threat.
Yep.
We've got the
brows. Brilliant Eye Brightener is your great 2-minute smoky eye. If you want to add that definition, I always tell people to go above the crease of the eye just a little bit. It'll help lift and elongate and kind of open your eyes, give you that really beautiful doe-eyed look.
That's the thing is if you don't go above the bone, it does not lift. So
totally.
Even like years into having been a makeup artist and doing my makeup, I still have to remind myself to go above the bone.
Totally. Well, and I think a lot of us get taught to do it in that crease, but the crease goes up. Like you need to go above the crease and when in doubt, blend up.
Yeah.
Because it's helping to lift and elongate. But with 2 shades, I can create, I mean, this eye look was Brilliant Eye Brightener in shade Peely and Brilliant Eye Brightener in shade Stella. And I take the 2/3, I put the dark shade, which is Peely today, it's Peely, named after one of our giving partners, Women Helping Women Maui. She's the executive director. She's amazing. And you take the outer 2/3 of your eye and you put the dark shade and then you put the lighter shade. So today would be Stella right in the inner corner and right on top of the brow bone. And you blend. I like to use a domed brush to blend it out, but you can also use your fingers.
Yeah.
I think another game changer, and this I do believe can be achieved within 7 minutes, is even if you're not going to put eyeliner on your lid because you want more of a natural look, put it on your waterline.
I do. I use your black eyeliner. It's waterproof, Infinity.
Yeah.
I use it on the upper and I blend it into my lash line.
Yes.
So like I do the inner rim, but then I get it right in. But then like today I was too lazy. So I did, I just took my mascara and I'll get right at the edges. So it can kind of create a little bit of that without the full rim.
Yes, and your makeup looks absolutely stunning. I mean, you're a beautiful canvas to start with.
Thank you.
But yeah, and Lauren, going back to our story about our first model who had alopecia, that's Lauren. So what you're wearing every day, and I like, not to get overly spiritual, but I really do believe that you're able to channel that power of Lauren and who she is. And she actually, by the way, cured herself of alopecia and was so inspired by her personal health journey that she then became a nurse and she was our first scholarship recipient.
Wow. How did she cure herself of alopecia?
She actually found out through working with a doctor that she got it from a hormonal imbalance that was caused by birth control.
Whoa. So she got off the birth control and it was over?
Yeah, I mean, she supplemented as well, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that just...
We need to have her on.
100%. Oh my gosh, she's such a light. She is such a light. She reminds me so much of Christy. And yeah, she's a thriving nurse now. She's getting married this weekend. But that Lauren eyeliner that you use every day, like I really do believe that's why we name our products after inspiring people. Because like Kaisa everybody in our triple threat collection, Dion is one of them, the 9-time cancer survivor, Kaisa, who's a total fitness badass and just amazing woman. It's like when you're putting on that triple threat in Kaisa, I want you to feel that energy so that you can go tackle your day. And so with Lauren, it's giving you that, that tight line, really beautiful, like draw attention to your eyes, makes your lashes look thicker.
Well, and because like people aren't skilled at makeup, they're very intimidated by it.
Yeah.
That you can do without screwing up.
100%.
And you will look like awesome.
Yeah, and you can use the smudge tip you can use the smudge tip that we have on the other side of the Infinity Waterproof eyeliner. You can use it to smudge it out, or you can actually use it to remove it. But after 30 seconds, that baby is setting.
You smudge it on your waterline?
If you got it like right above your lash line and you wanted to clean it up really quick. But the thing about that is the semi-permanent micropigments, they do set within 30 seconds. So you do got to be quick on that one. So that it does play in nicely to a 7-minute routine. Of course, mascara. I can't leave the house without curling my lashes.
Me too.
Because my lashes go down.
Yeah, mine don't go down, but they just look so much better when they're curled.
Yeah.
Do you mascara from the base or do you go from the tip down?
I do bottom lashes first.
I just started doing that. Game changer.
Total game changer.
Because if you have long lashes, the second you go up, you second you go down and do the bottom secondarily.
Yes.
You end up getting mascara at the top of your eye.
You're totally right.
I just learned that though now.
Yeah. Well, now you're teaching the world and you're changing the world through this. No, it is a revolutionary tip that everybody needs to know. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And that's why I always tell the team, I'm like, we should repeat the same tips all the time because so many people don't know these things and it can change your life.
Nope.
And so, yes, I go bottom lashes first. And then I do, specifically with Liquid Lash Extensions mascara, I do as many coats as I want to really create the look. I don't switch between eyes because that particular, it dries fast. And you only need one coat from the base of your lashes all the way to the tip of your lashes. And then you just build.
Yeah.
Especially on the outer third of your eye, just build. And you're going to get that doe-eyed look again.
So I'm obsessed. That's basically, I throw concealer in.
Oh, yeah, concealer.
I use the bronzing stick, too, for a little contour.
Yeah.
And then the translucent powder is great.
I'm obsessed.
I mean, everything's great. By the way, guys, this isn't an ad. And, most shows do, like, founder interviews and people pay to be on and all of that. And I generally will be like, can you guys just gift our audience stuff? So we do have a surprise coming up. We'll get to that. But do you have any tips on how to get dewy looks?
Yes. Couple tips. Hydrate. Drink lots of water, use lots of moisturizer, and sunscreen. Sunscreen is naturally going to give you a dewy base most of the time. I'm a little biased because we make sunscreen. So if you are somebody who is looking for more of a dewy look with your sunscreen, I would say definitely use the Daily Defender versus our Filtered Effects. That's going to give you more of a matte priming and it really grips the makeup. So I also love using a highlighter all over. I think it's amazing to use it on the tops of the cheeks, but also above the brows on the outer third.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Do you know I just saw a girl online and she puts highlighter from the corner of her eye, the inner corner, underneath her eye.
Oh, interesting.
And I started doing it. I have it on today. I started doing it and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then she puts it up above her nose bridge in between her eyebrows. So I did that too.
Yeah.
And it helps with that dewy look.
And the Cupid's bow?
Yep, Cupid's bow. But I've never done it above the eyebrows.
Yeah, it's whether you're using like Brilliant Eye Brightener or you want to, I mean, we do have, and I don't want to make this all about Thrive. There's so many amazing products out there, but you can use any highlighter, whether it's a liquid, a cream, or a powder, and you can just pop it on. One that's really similar to your skin tone is going to be great. Like I love to use a champagne on somebody who has more of an olive complexion like us. And I don't know if people can see me, but I'm touching the tip of my brow, and then
where it arches.
Where the arch. Yeah, I couldn't find the word. Thank you for that. The
I'm
arch
glad
of my
you
brow.
said to find one that's your complexion because I have this RMS one that I love, but it's very white.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that serves a purpose. I mean, you can definitely create amazing looks with that. But I think finding something that's pretty close to your complexion is really helpful for giving that natural dewy look. There's also primers that are illuminating. I think that's another great base. We have one it's called Brilliant Face Brightener that not many people know that we make, but I even put it on people's bodies. Like it is amazing for creating a transfer-proof glow.
Oh, I like
and
that.
gives you that nice filtered look without adding really any color to the skin. So that's a really nice way you can mix it in with your lotions, and it's amazing on the skin. But there's a lot of amazing ones on the market.
So I don't wear sunscreen.
Okay.
Do you have stuff that doesn't have sunscreen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So the Brilliant Face Brightener would be perfect for you.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So friends, I did say that Karissa has a special gift for our listeners. So if you're listening to this in kind of real time, I know people listen to podcasts at different moments, at different times. It might be way past this, but if you're catching this fresh, if you go to Heal Squad on Instagram or any of our socials, you can see that she is giving away products for the Heal Squad. So if you just go to our Instagram, you'll find out all the information to participate in this incredible giveaway and discount code. Karissa, thank you so much for that. I think the Heal Squad's going to love it.
It's such a treat. I'm so excited for everybody to try them.
Thank you. Well, this was super fun. And I'm really, really just blown away by everything that you have done. I think your journey is so inspiring. And, actually, let me ask you one last thing. Is there a dream that of anybody that you've wanted to work with, or anything that you see for this brand that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's so much to do. I always say, I'm like, we have so much to do. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. I've been doing it even longer than 10 years. And in so many ways, we are just getting started. I want to cure gray hair. I want to figure out how to remove stretch marks topically. I think that would be really fun. The brands, both Bigger Than Beauty Skincare and Thrive Causemetics, are only available in the US and Canada right now. I'm really excited about taking the brand global, and our Philanthropy is global already, but even more so. So
we should do something in Greece.
Yes, we should. Yes. Oh my gosh. And we could do like a golden Greek goddess look. Oh, yes. That's one of my favorites.
In the olive fields.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I've never been to Greece. I'm not well traveled. I mean, I started my business when I was 24 and I've been, doing customer service and product development and supply chain and finance for the last decade. And so I'm excited, on a personal level to be able to travel the world through bringing Thrive Causemetics and Bigger Than Beauty Skincare to different markets, to Australia and to the UK and Europe and Asia. Like, I'm so excited about that journey. And so I think about that a lot. I think a lot about being able to continue to expand our impact. It's really been, we didn't talk about this much, but our customers have really helped us expand our cause so much bigger than I ever thought. And it's really been organic through the community. So that's how we have over 700 charities that we've worked with, is because people are telling us about them. So I'm really excited about the international expansion someday, but I'm not like in this place where I feel like we need to rush to get there. And I want to keep creating game-changing products because, again, for me, like, I'm starting to get gray hair, and I'm like, what am I going to do?
Oh my God, no. I have them. I have that little pencil from L'Oreal that I color them in with. But I'm going to tell you, I saw a woman on Instagram. I flagged her for us for one of our discussions, and she figured out how to cure gray hair, she said. Okay. You might want to look into her.
Okay.
I haven't fully watched all her videos yet. But I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying. And we have to put so many, like a good, toxic-free, clean hair color product would be amazing.
I'm on it.
Because that is really game-changing when you're going to have to start doing your hair. Like, I haven't done my hair since, I think it was like December 4th or something. And like, I'm starting to see little grays pop up, or whites, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what the difference is, by the way. People call them grays. I'm like, they're all white to me. Anyway.
Yes. You are right.
So I have one in my eyebrow I just plucked the other day. I'm like, why are you here?
Yes.
But
our tinted brow gel will actually help reverse that, but we can talk about that later.
Tinted brow gel?
Our tinted brow gel. Yeah. The Instant Brow Fix actually does have a gray delay complex that actually will rebuild the melanocytes in your brow hairs. So that is a story for another day, but yes.
But it won't work on the head.
It does. It does. It's just not made for that type of hair. So people do use it as a root cover up. It really is designed for the brows. But yeah, it is an amazing formula that literally will deposit the color back into the hairs.
Holy
so
moly.
I'll send you some.
I would love that.
It's amazing. Yeah, that's another award-winning formula for us that is like, that I was just like motivated to like cure gray hair. And I found it in that way. But it's kind of like liquid microblading.
Got it. So how far down the line are you with the actual gray hair for the head?
We're pretty close.
No way.
Yeah. So I'm really excited.
Oh, perfect. I'll be your model. Because
Yes,
by the time it's official, I'll be more gray or white, whatever.
Yes. Have you ever been a beauty model? Mm-mm. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, whether you start your own brand or whatever, you're the perfect canvas for it. So,
thank you. Well, maybe I'll be one of yours someday.
Yes. I think we need to do a beauty tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So fun.
I know. I remember being at the Chanel counter and being like, guys, I would do the makeovers and they would look at it and it was like $300. I'm like, we don't have to spend that much. Okay,
Yeah.
You're going to use, by the way, sorry guys, I would be like, just buy the lip liner and use Vaseline.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gave them all like the hacks to not have to spend, because you have to be realistic. They're not going to buy everything.
Totally.
So I think I did really well because I was honest with them about what was the most important for them to be able to buy.
Yeah.
And then I would send them over to Definicils for the samples.
Yes.
Like, you can get the sample. It works better than everything else.
Yes.
But anyway, super funny. Karissa, I really loved getting to know your story even more. And I think what you're doing is great. And the Heal Squad says thank you, of course, in advance for all the fun stuff that they're going to get. And keep on the mission. All right, friends, thank you so much for being with us today. I hope you enjoyed our two-part conversation with Karissa. She is an inspiring and just awesome woman, and just really happy for you guys to be hearing her journey. Maybe you'll create your own business from here. But in the meantime, she is giving away Thrive Cosmetic products, including my favorites, like the mascara that we talked about. You can find all the details inside of our show notes and on Instagram at Heal Squad. Until next time, friends, be nice people, make good choices, and be present. And if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes. Healing is possible, friends, and it happens here. Hey, Heal Squad. We have been on quite the journey together, and we're hearing from so many of you just how much this show is helping you heal and get better, and it makes us feel so good. We love, love, love it, and we just ask that you don't keep it to yourself. Spread the message and share the show or your favorite episode with your friends. And if you want to help us even more, you can leave us a 5-star rating and a comment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and follow us on Instagram at Heal Squad. You can also DM us anytime because we love connecting with you. And finally, you can also join us on Patreon for our monthly live heal events with world-class healers and ad-free episodes exclusive only to Patreon and our Super Heal Squad for as little as $10 a month. So go to patreon.com/Heal Squad to join. Getting better isn't easy, friends, but as I say all the time, it's a whole lot easier if we can do it together. We love you all so much, and we love doing this thing called life with you.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.